Let's talk about the female gender. Oh, lovely. Well, most of them, Katie Hopkins. However, they are a confusing bunch, to say the least.
If you've ever seen Arthur Schopenhauer or many other possible legends, takes on the conceivable biological, social, and physical attributions to women, which you don't necessarily need to see. I mean, it is a daily life something, nobody knows where it stems from. Maybe it is just the inherent truth that women are some kind of bunkers. I don't know, but necessarily you see it often on your media, in real life equally, maybe between yourself and your romantic partner, or among friends. Essentially, when discussions arises on gender, whatever, no matter the dimension it takes, women tends to be at the almost rational and reasonably undisputable disadvantage. And the belief, or I will employ the word, the truth that women are essentially, I'm going to quote, may in fact be seen as intellectually short-sighted, because while she has an intuitive understanding of what lies quite close to her, her field of vision is narrow and does not reach to what is remote. And women, for a fact, are inferior in point of justice and less honorable and conscientious. It is almost a formulated theory how women, being statistically conscious by the way, exhibit the most double standardism. Women outrightly want or just demand that certain rules be applied to themselves more than others. Like when a woman acts a certain way, sees no problem with it, then when such action or whatever is reciprocated, she may necessarily not find it cool. Okay, imagine a scenario where, for whatever the case may be, a woman proceeds to eating a man first and he retaliates, and the general argument commonly will be how is evil a sequel and whatever because he hits a woman. All these factors, as well as many other taken into consideration, given how linear it is enough to deem the entire race of the female humans as creatures whose reasoning power is weak, because women necessarily remain children their whole life, never seeing anything but what is quite close to them, cleaving to the present moment, taking appearance for reality, and preferring truths to matter of first imperance.
80% of the time, women bring up the problems in a relationship.
Women complain all the time. Do you hear women complain all the time?
Honestly, one of the things I hate most about women, we are each other's worst enemy. It's like we think that some other woman is like our competition. We don't think of them as a sister. Women, we are the worst ones to each other. We be tearing each other down in the worst way.
I'm pretty sure we all know the why I mix friends with male and never with females narrative stems not from the void. However, some people on some other parts of the world tries to sum it up as necessarily wanting to appeal to men, and doing whatever it takes, even at the expense of other women, to be noticed or chosen. The fact remains that countless number of people, being females, had experienced one, two, or more what seems almost an uncalled for breach of trust done to them by fellow women, or some kind of stabbing at the back, which stems from nothing other than loathing, envy, or jealousy because they are simply female. The natural feeling between men is mere indifference, but between women, it is actual enmity. The reason of this may be that with women, differences of rank are much more precarious than with men, because while 100 considerations carry weight in our cases, in theirs there is only one, namely with which man they have found favor, as also that they stand in more relation with one another than men do in pursuit of their business, which is attracting men. I don't know. Anyways, arguably, the reason for the presence of almost natural enmity between two or among women in general is what could be called trade jealousy. Don't know how ikish that may sound, and maybe it's maybe very unnecessary, but why don't we examine the fact that women, being inclusively not meant to experience nor undergo great labor, this which almost as stated give rise to why they need or have to rely on the stronger species, men, which deem almost a privilege to have one to rely on, then how ironic it is that those who manage or are lucky, if you will, proceeds to trampling upon, degrading, mortifying, and crucifying the rest are by chance unlucky. Given that the number of women is greater than that of men universally, I don't know why I branched there anyway, but I guess it is to emphasize the existence of the almost unexplainable frictions among women and why you can be almost certain that women are probably the problem of the world. To not unnecessarily examine the complexities of each individual person, which is a probable impediment when it comes to relating with other people in general, to consider that majority of the time, I don't know, I'm talking statistically, conventionally, biologically, socially, I don't know, women tend to be the problem, just as they are in every aspect of life, including their romantic relationships.
Women can be crazy and problematic inside of relationships.
Y'all are hard-headed and women don't listen. They're talking, she's not being receptive. Hey, if you want for me and you to be better, I need you to do this so then I could give you that. Women tend to not listen. The ones that I believe jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship.
Female are barely sentient.
Now, for as lions are provided with claws and teeth, and elephants and boas with thugs, bulls and horn, and cuttlefish with its cloud of inky fluid, so nature has equipped women for our defense and protection with the heart of dissimulation. All powers which nature had conferred upon men in shapes of physical strength and logical reasons have been bestowed upon women in form of dissimulation. Dissimulation is almost innate in women. It is natural for women to employ them when they feel their need or want threatened or unmet. A woman who is perfectly straightforward is almost an impossibility. Women employs, great to say the least, deceit and manipulation in every aspect of life. It is a fundamental defect on the part of women to be treacherous, ungrateful, unfaithful, liars, and all the rest in whatever they do, including their love relationships and that. From time to time, one find a woman who wants for nothing, takes things from shops, counters when no one is looking, and make off with them.
Doing great. You know how you cried before I gave you that money?
Oh yes, I remember how I cried like a baby. Please give me money. Yeah, I remember. But guy, come! When you gave me the money, was it under duress? You were in your right senses when you gave me the money. I took it from you. I didn't steal it from you.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Man. Stop harassing us. She has shopped your money. Why are you harassing her? Monica, come, let's go.
Ah, who be Monica? The Chris. It's clear, man. Mumu.
Okay, let a woman keep silence in church, in theaters, if possible. Ensure that globally women are forbidden from taking oaths in courts. For nature has assigned them as the weaker sex. They are dependent not upon strength, okay, but upon crafts. Hence their instinctive capacity for cunning and their almost ineradicable tendency to say what is not true. In their hearts, women think it is men's business to earn money and theirs to spend it.
Women knows about what is supposed to be done for them, but have zero idea about what to do for others.
Contemporary women now possesses zero sense of nurturing, no patience, and nags, complain makes the mouth like pest. Why don't we pause? You know, I take courses in psychology. And if you look at the provided biological formation of the female human in comparison to that of the male humans, there is no secured theory that are specified that women for everything possesses the will to be the most dicey, this which is the rightful building block to confuse us, of course. There might have been unwritten rules in regard to this, by the way, given that everything does not have to be experimented contention to be a fundamental truth. Considering the consistency and a linear pattern, a general observation can be made and facts can be established. However, somehow it is unempirical truth can be everything but undoubtful? No. The fact that each individual person is biologically distinctive make it more so. Let's examine the field of political science, for instance. The argument to why it is unfit as a field of science is because even as it studies revolves primarily around opinions, essays, standpoints, viewpoints, feelings, whatever, they are still very complex attributes of human complexions, and totally unreliable will it be should something as compounded as that be studied by mere observation, interviews, or general survey, which political science extends to take on as a method of experimentation. The only element which for every substantiality can establish, at least beyond any reasonable doubt, the attributes of any human is an empirically bind thesis. And since the assertion is each human is unique in respect to general genetic variation, personality, cognitive process, including some psychological factor, the possibility that two different people are exactly the same is almost impossible.
In my coaching practice, I have found that cheating, lying, emotional instability, emotional unavailability is sort of even across the board. Men and women, 50-50. And I'm not going to lie to you, when I went into this field, I was a little bit biased against men. In fact, I started my business only seeing male clients because I believed that they needed more of the help. Because the science sort of said that, men cheat more, men are more emotionally unavailable. What I'm finding is that gender or sex, whatever word you want to use, doesn't really predict that.
So to see it or stand if the situation requires, and pronounce an entire race just because they are of the same sex, ignoring the fact that people have different biological and cognitive formation, barming, not unfit, unintellectual, crafty, treacherous, just because there have been precedented, sequential, or serial retrospection or prevailing circumstances is fluid.
Quit with the masculine feminine bullcrap.
People should endeavor to experience people as an individual person and not as a matter of course, as a male or a female, to make life better, I guess.